Oh, hi, it's Randy Kelly, and I just dyed my hair again. It's because the orange faded after 1 week, so I was like, ugh. I always go blonde or black. I was like, let's do brown. You never do brown. I actually love it. I like it more than black. So this is things that I watched in April. Some good and some not so good. Let's start with one that I was very disappointed with. Okay, Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman. Have you heard of that one? This is like brand new. I heard it got a standing ovation at some film festival. I'm like, excuse me. When I watched this, first of all, I didn't have high expectations really, but like when I did watch it, I was like, are you kidding? Like, Nicole Kidman was not the right choice. She's an amazing actress. She's been in everything. She's been around for like 45 fucking years. I get it. She's talented. She's very successful. She's not meant for every role, especially these days when you're like Frozen. She has like no emotion. She was not correct for this role. I think Sandra Bullock, her Practical Magic co-star, which they're making a second one, by the way, she would have been better. Like, anyone else would have been better. Nicole Kidman was not right. This is about her being a CEO with a family and kids, and she has an affair with a much younger intern. There was no connection, no chemistry. The movie was not hot. Like, it was awkward. They didn't have a connection, in my opinion. And they were really annoying. The guy wasn't right either. He's kind of hot, not gonna lie, but I don't think he was cast correctly either. Like, I found myself annoyed with these people, especially Nicole. She looks so cold, and like, she just does not fit the role. I know you're a CEO, you're supposed to be kind of bitchy, kinda, but like, no. Even though the guy is cute, whenever he would pop up on screen, I'm like, oh, here he is again. Like, they're not supposed to be annoying me. Like, I'm supposed to like these people, right? They're the main characters. Okay, the next movie I saw in the theater, it was very good. I knew it was gonna be good. The reviews were great. I just knew it. It was Drop. I loved it. It's very thrilling. The story is very unrealistic. Things that occur in this movie are super unrealistic, so don't expect a very intelligent movie because this shit wouldn't happen the way it happens. It just wouldn't. Like, there's several things. Also, she gets up so many times during her goddamn date. I know that's kind of the point of the movie, but oh my God. It's the movie where she's on a first date at this really bougie restaurant and she's getting texts from this guy. He's basically intruding her house and her son is there with her sister and he's threatening to kill the son if she doesn't kill her date. So she keeps having to get up during the date and he doesn't know what's going on. So he's like, what is wrong with this bitch? And we're all like, this is so cringe, but it is a good movie. Okay, this next one was surprisingly bad. I thought I would kind of like this. I didn't expect too much out of it. The Woman in the Yard. I did not like it. It's where this woman is with her two kids at this like farmhouse. They're like in the middle of fucking nowhere. And there's this woman covered in like a veil and she's just sitting on something out in the yard. And they're obviously like, who the hell is this? Like, it's so random and you can't see her face. So it's extra creepy. And basically, I just feel like the movie, not that much happens. And I got really kind of confused towards the end. I don't know if I'm just a fucking moron. Like, am I? Because I was like kind of confused what was going on. I didn't love it. I don't recommend it, but go ahead. And Shelly and I, my friend Shelly that I always go to the movies with, we almost went to go see that at the theater. I'm so happy I did not spend money on that. That was like, I would have been so pissed. I would have been like, are you kidding me? Like, no. This next one was very good. Okay, I think I'm saying it right. Femme. It's Femme. Is it Femi or Femme? I think it's Femme. I literally Googled, how do you pronounce this word? Because I didn't want to sound like a dumbass on my video, but I think it's Femme. I think the E's silent. I feel like this movie didn't get a lot of attention. A lot of people don't know about it, so it's very random that I stumbled across this, but I'm so happy I did. I loved it. And the white guy in it, I've seen him before. Oh my God, he is so hot. He is so good looking. Like, he has tattoos. He is just... So this is about an openly gay guy. He dresses up in drag, performs in drag, and so he's at a gas station. There's this group of white guys that... Because he's a black guy, and then there's a group of white guys that start kind of harassing him. And there's one in particular that he earlier saw staring at him, so he kind of felt like maybe they had a connection or something, like maybe he was interested in him, but now he's with his friends and he's like insulting him. So he stands up for himself a little bit and the guy follows him outside, beats the shit out of him like it's a hate crime. And it takes him months to kind of get over it. And he finally starts going out again. He goes to a bathhouse. That guy is in the bathhouse, but he doesn't recognize him because he's no longer in drag. So he doesn't know that this is the guy that he beat the shit out of. So the guy that hate crimed him is secretly hooking up with men and is secretly gay or bi, which is pretty accurate because, I mean, a lot of these homophobic people, they're questionable. Like, trust me, I've lived it firsthand. I know. So they start hooking up, but he has to keep it a secret from all his friends. Obviously, he doesn't want his friends to know that he's hooking up with a guy. And this guy is secretly thinking he wants to try to record it and get revenge on him for beating him. Overall, loved it. I thought it was super entertaining. I don't know if I just relate to it a lot, so I don't know if it's for everybody. It's kind of hard to watch in certain scenes, but obviously this concept is going to be, but I liked it. Okay, so speaking of gay movies, this one was a big letdown. I feel like a lot of my reviews today are kind of negative, but I expected more. This got such good reviews. This got so much praise. It's called Queer. It's where Daniel Craig stars co-stars is a gay man, an openly gay man in Mexico, and he starts to be infatuated with a much younger man who is seeing a woman, so he's not gay per se, but he is, you know? Like, he hasn't really come to terms with his sexuality, but then he starts hooking up with Daniel Craig, but Daniel Craig becomes a fucking obsessed with him. Like, it's kind of hard to watch because the guy isn't really reciprocating the feelings, so Daniel Craig is like chasing him around, it feels like, and the movie just wasn't that good. I actually found it pretty tedious and pretty boring. Like, and I'm not the only one. I read a lot of the reviews. The critic reviews were great. The audience reviews were not that great. I'm like, okay, that's kind of accurate. I didn't really love it. I don't think there was much to it. Also, careful who you watch that with. There's a lot of like sex scenes, like gay sex scenes. I mean, it's not that explicit that I can remember. I watched this alone, so I was like, whatever. But like, if I had watched that with a family member or something, I would have been like, this is awkward. I mean, people made this movie out to be really great. I did not find it really great. Even Brokeback Mountain is better than that. Like, that's a better gay love story. And I actually think that's a little overrated, but I like that movie definitely more than this. Like, I could watch that many more times. I'm never gonna watch Queer again. I don't like it. I think it's cool that Daniel Craig played a gay character and was willing to do that. A lot of people in Hollywood still are not willing to do that. Like, even though it's progressive over there and whatever, I think that's cool. And I think that's why I got a lot of the praise it did, because he's an accomplished actor. Wasn't he like James Bond? He's been around for a while and he's a straight man. I'm assuming he's married to some woman, but anyway, that's cool, but that didn't save the film for me. But the guy he was having an affair with, again, he was attractive. I don't know him, but he was a cutie. This next one was surprisingly good. It's not that surprising. I knew in my heart, I was like, this is gonna be good. Based on the reviews, based on it being kind of an original concept, it is kind of a remake of another film that was foreign, but I never saw that film, so for me, this was a new concept. It's called Locked, and it has the guy that plays the It Clown. His name's Bill, like something with an S. Like, it's a really long last name, but you know who I'm talking about. He is the main character. He breaks into cars. He breaks into this very nice car. He gets trapped in there, like locked in there. He cannot escape. It's soundproof. It's bulletproof. And through the system, like the radio, the owner of the car is talking to him and he wants to keep him trapped in there to teach him a lesson. And it's kind of just this cat and mouse survival movie, and it's actually surprisingly good. You would think to yourself, how good can that be? He's in a fucking car the whole movie. But no, like, a lot of shit happens, and I liked it. I found it to be pretty interesting. I was never really bored, and overall, I would definitely watch that again. I recommend it. Although I will say, okay, Anthony Hopkins, who was from Silence of the Lambs, he's the psychopath in Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, he plays a psycho in this too. He is very, like, fucked up to me. Like, there's a scene in particular, I can't give spoilers though, but there's a scene in particular that I was like, this is fucked up. Like, he's just crazy. So this next one is pretty controversial. Let's talk about Snow White. So I went into this with an open mind. I did not go into this thinking, I'm gonna hate it, everyone hates it, it's flopping, oh my god, whatever. I did just see an article that out of every Disney film, I think this was the biggest flop they've ever had, which is kind of crazy. I was not that excited for this film. I really loved Snow White as a kid. I always loved the evil queen. I always liked the villains because they were always the most interesting. So I gave it a chance. It was okay. Like, it was okay. What can I say? It was not amazing. I said this on Snapchat. I thought the beginning and the ending were good. I think the ending actually put a nice pretty bow on it and kind of ended it on a very happy, cute note. So the ending made me actually kind of like it. The middle to me was so tedious, dull. A lot of the songs in this movie are not from the original, so I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about in these songs. They're not even good songs. I didn't really love the songs. And sometimes I was kind of like, okay, is it over yet? Is it over yet? Like, in the middle of it, I was really like, Rachel Zegler did fine as Snow White. I mean, I know a lot of people can't stand the girl. She has a lot of controversy surrounding her, kind of like Blake Lively. You know I love talking about Blake Lively. But no, I mean, she was fine. I've never really seen her act. She actually was decent. She's fine, but obviously her actions caused a lot of the downfall of this film. I don't think it's all that. I think maybe it was partially the promotion of the film. I think also a lot of people didn't like the fact that the dwarves were computer generated. But you know how people are, especially with the internet. A lot of it had to do with Rachel Zegler. She opened her mouth a little too much, I will say. She said some negative things about the original film. She kind of said some shit that was political. You really shouldn't bring up political stuff, especially when you're having a project coming out, because people are going to be divided on that. You know what I mean? Like, even if you agree with her, I don't think she should have said anything. So I think people have this perception of her that she's like this ungrateful brat. I don't know her, so I don't know. Maybe she is, but like that she's an ungrateful brat, that she's really full of herself. I've said this and I'll say it again. I don't think the whole internet should be coming after somebody and bullying them like over something so minuscule. I do feel like the things she said about the film, the original film, aren't that big of a deal. Political stuff, It's her opinion. But I mean, some people are so passionate when it comes to politics that, so of course they're going to be anti-Rachel Zegler if they don't agree with her. Like, you're really risking a lot when you speak up about politics when you're in the public eye like that. I don't think she should have said anything, but it is what it is. I'm sure Disney had a conversation with her. I'm sure Disney's fucking thrilled about this. I'm sure behind the scenes, a lot of these people are blaming her for the film doing poorly. Like, you just know it. Like, even I think the director's son came forward and made a statement saying like, oh yeah, she ruined the film. I think it's all kind of dramatic and blown out of proportion, but who the hell am I, you know? So it did poorly, and it is what it is. The movie was okay. That's all I have to say. It had its cute moments. I liked the ending, and that's all I can say about it. So this is the last movie I'm going to talk about. Then I'm going to talk about shows. So this movie is called Nefarious, and it was unexpected. Never heard of it until the moment I watched it, and it was so interesting. It's about a convicted serial killer who's in prison, and he has to see a psychiatrist to determine, is he insane? Should he go to a mental hospital, essentially, or should he have the death sentence? Like, the whole movie is basically the psychiatrist and him speaking, and that doesn't sound that interesting, but it actually was. Basically, the killer tells the psychiatrist, by the time you leave here today, you are going to commit 3 murders of your own, and he thinks he's fucking crazy. He's like, no, I'm not. And I can't really say much because it gives shit away, but a lot of stuff unfolds, and it's just kind of a one-of-a-kind movie. I've never really seen anything like that, and I enjoyed it. Like, it's not super actiony. There's not a shit ton of action, but like, you actually have to listen and pay attention. This isn't something you have on in the background. Like, you have to actually watch it. So yeah, I liked it. It wasn't like scary. I don't think you'll even jump in this film necessarily, but it's eerie and creepy, and it's a thriller. Okay, now let's talk about 3 different shows. So we're going to start with this really random one that I never heard of, but my friend told me about it. We watched it. 9 Bodies in a Mexican Morgue. That fucking title. I don't think I've ever watched something with a longer title. Well, maybe The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So this has the guy from Will and Grace. If you've ever seen Will and Grace, he's Will. It's him and a group of people on this plane. The plane crashes and lands into a jungle. And one by one, these people start getting murdered. They're not just dying naturally, they're getting murdered day by day. And they have to discover who is killing people here. Like, I didn't know if I'd like it. I did like it. And it's actually kind of memorable. Like, I kind of think about that show once in a while. I watched it like several weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And I'm like, I kind of think about it sometimes. I'm like, oh, that was a good show. Not to toot my own horn, but I totally called who the killer was. Okay, I had a few theories who the killer was, but then it started to get obvious to me. And I was like, oh, it's definitely this person. And I was right. So yay me. Okay, the next one, I just finished this last night. You, season 5. Okay, I watched every season of You except season 4 because, first of all, I heard it sucked. It was in a different country. I had no interest in watching You season 4, so I didn't watch it. So I watched season 5 and didn't watch season 4, but I feel like you don't have to see season 4. I mean, there's a few things you might miss, but not really. Okay, you're gonna think I'm a fucking psycho, but you already do. I really liked Love from seasons 2 and 3, and I know she was like crazy, but I liked her, and it's sad that she's no longer in it, but whatever. If you've never seen You, it's about a guy that's basically a stalker and a murderer. It's Penn Badgley, aka he's from Gossip Girl. He's Dan Humphrey. His name's Joe in the series. He's not my favorite character in the world. I do find him kind of dull. I find Penn Badgley kind of dull in general. Like, a lot of people think he's so hot and they love his voice. His voice is okay. I'm definitely not obsessed with his voice. I'm not obsessed with him. Like, he's cute. He is cute. I think I liked him when he was a little bit younger. I don't really find him that attractive, which is weird because he has dark hair and dark eyes, and I love that, but I don't know. And I just don't find him that interesting as a person, as an actor. He's just very, like, mellow to me. He's just kind of like this straight guy with a deep voice, and there's just nothing that pops about him. I liked season 5. It was a good season. I was into it. I will say I really love the blonde bitch. Her name's Anna Camp. She's from Pitch Perfect. I'd never even seen Pitch Perfect. I want to watch it now because I really like her, and I heard she's going to be in Scream 7. Anyway, she's a blonde. She played twins in this season, and she plays a royal fucking bitch named Reagan, and then she plays her twin who's kind of like a dumb blonde, like kind of way nicer, but she's like stupid. Her name's Maddie. She was great. The season was good. It was the final season of the series. They are done after this. So did I love the way it ended? No, I expected more. I always expect too much. I always expect more. I didn't like love the ending. The ending wasn't bad. It's just I wanted something bigger. I always want bigger. But you know what? When that came out, I remember really liking season 1, and then I did like season 2, and then I actually really liked season 3. Like, and clearly the show has been super successful. They got 5 seasons out of it. So if you're a fan of previous seasons, I would say watch the 5th one. You don't necessarily have to see all the seasons to see the 5th one, but it's up to you. Okay, we finally made it to our final show, and this I have a lot to say, so I saved it for last. It's called Good American Family. So this is the true story about Natalia Grace. If you've not heard of her, it's this girl that was 8 years old. She had dwarfism, and she was from Ukraine, I believe, another country. She was adopted by an American family. They start to believe in their head that she is an adult impersonating a child. It's kind of like the movie Orphan. They even reference the movie Orphan in the series, but this is a real life situation that happened, and they believe that she is an adult and she's trying to, like, especially the mother. She's like obsessed with this. And it's actually Ellen from, I don't know her last name, but Ellen from Grey's Anatomy, which I've never seen, but I know the bitch. And I will say she is a good actress. I actually really like her now because now that I've seen her, I was like, oh, I love her. Like the mother is obsessed with this conspiracy theory that she's an adult and she's trying to harm her. She's trying to steal the husband. She's trying to harm the family. So here's my opinion. So if you research the actual case, this girl was a little girl when she's with this family. That was not real. That was not true. She was not an adult impersonating a child. She was an 8-year-old girl. Right? I do think the show is misleading because they really do portray her as somebody impersonating a child. Like the dialogue that she has at like 8, 9 years old, she would not speak like that. Like they really do make her sound more sophisticated and more intelligent than a typical child would be. And I'm like, I don't think the real Natalia Grace spoke like that. It just seems like you're trying to convince the audience this is real. Like, oh, she is an adult. Maybe they were trying to make you think, question it, but also, Natalia Grace is still alive. These people are still alive. This only happened a few years ago. They make, in the first 4 episodes of this show, you're going to fucking hate Natalia Grace. They make this girl so unlikable and a monster. Like, I was thinking to myself, if I was her, I would be so pissed at this series because holy shit, they make her so misbehaved, so snarky. She looks fucking evil. They make her seem like the bitch from Orphan, like literally. But then by episode 5, basically what happened is they dumped her off in an apartment because they were convinced she was 22 years old. They even got her age legally changed to 22. They dump her in an apartment. Episode 5 was hard to watch for me because I felt so bad for her. They're like, oh, it's time for you to live on your own. We're going to pay for your apartment and we're going to get food for you, but we're just going to leave you here. So she's abandoned. She's disabled. She's a child. You feel bad for her. My perspective of her changed by episode 5. I hated her before that. And then I started to, empathize with her. And I started to really fucking hate the mother and the father. I did not like him either. But the mother, you can just tell how manipulative she is. She really plays that like, oh my God, I'm like a martyr act. But it's like, bitch, you are not. And then she starts living with another family and they end up going to court to try to reverse her age back to the original age, and it's this whole thing. Very good show. There's 8 episodes. I just don't like how it ended. Once again, I never like the ending of things because they didn't show everything. Like, pretty sure that adopted mother, Christine Barnett, is in jail, prison, or she was in prison, and they didn't show any of that. So I'm like, okay, why didn't you show that part? Like, that's kind of crucial. Like, she's currently serving time for this. Like, so I feel like that show is just a roller coaster of emotions. You go from hating one character to hating a different one. Like, you just don't know what to believe, but then you really kind of know what you believe in the end. Like, that's how I felt. I was on Natalia's side. I believe Natalia. I believe Natalia was a child, and I think Christine Barnett didn't want to have her anymore. She felt like she couldn't handle it, and she had to find a way to get rid of her. So she came up with this conspiracy. Also, the agency that they adopted her through was shady and had, like, shady business. So I think that got in her head that they had shady dealings. I think she was jealous that Natalia was closer with the dad. I think her marriage was falling apart. She also got it into her head that they made up her age because they had done that with some other kids. The agency was shady, I will say, so I can understand her kind of questioning it, but she became obsessed with it and then convinced that this was reality. This was not real. She convinced herself and she just wanted to get rid of her. And she was like, well, we have to figure out a way to get rid of her. So I heard about this case. I had never watched a documentary on it. I never really knew the details. I have such a better understanding of what occurred now. And I really like this series. I thought it was so good. And I really want to watch a documentary on it now so I can like learn more, but amazing. So those are some things I watched in April. I watched a lot of things that I'd already seen before, like old movies, like I'm not going to talk about, but who knows? Maybe we'll make this a monthly thing. Maybe I'll do one for May. Because in a few weeks, Clown in a Cornfield comes out in Final Destination Bloodlines and other shit that I'm probably excited for, but I can't think of right now. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon.